Hello, everybody. I know I usually start that for our Aces Up the Sleeve podcast. I'm sure you all know that tone by now. But I'm actually here with Jared because we have a first day sales recap from the Keeneland September Sale. Jared, I know you look and you sound tired. You're back from day one of shopping. We picked up 2 new horses. Do you want to kind of give our partners and our listeners a quick introduction to who they are?
Absolutely. And, first of all, it's Sunday of the sale. We did not expect to be shopping, quite frankly, this early.
Yep.
We knew
I kept
that
hearing
we were gonna,
Thursday.
yeah.
That's the
Well, yeah,
magic
we
day.
joked earlier in the week because the prices have been so strong in the first few days. Like, well, man, we'll never be able to make a purchase. But, we knew all along that we were going to go out and we were going to check out Irish Ace's half brother by Tis the Law. So Mark went out there this morning and he called me, and I apologize for my voice. I was at the UK Georgia football game last night, and I'm a little hoarse. Great game by the Cats.
No pun intended.
Just a little short, but anyway, yeah. Mark called and said, "I'm on my way out here. We're going to look at Irish Ace's half brother. See what we think about it. See if he looks all right." And then, if he looks good, then we'll stick around, and if not, then we'll just call it and we'll get started again on Monday. And he called me, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later and said, "Yeah, we're gonna have to stick around. He's really nice. He looks a whole lot like his older brother." And so I said, I'm on my way. I'll be there in less than 10 minutes. And so I got there, and we had quite a bit of time. He was hip 1723. We had I don't know, I think we were probably on 75. Well, I guess, yeah, 75 or so hips, maybe close to 100 hips before he was going to go through the ring. And we decided, hey, let's just stand on the wall and see what we can see. And, just in case, not thinking that we were going to find anything really that we could afford. And when we'd already discussed that, hey, we may have to go well beyond what we had talked about to get Irish Ace's half brother. But anyway, we're just in there looking, and he said, "Man, we need to go look at this filly." And there's this beautiful, sleek, athletic-looking, just gorgeous Twirling Candy filly, and we followed her through the ring. And Mark just kept, as we kept going on, he's like, "Man, she is really, really nice. This is what we want. This is what we're looking for. How much can I spend? Can I spend?" And, as he does. And we talked to the consignor, and the consignor said, "Hey, she's going through the ring without a reserve because it is a dispersal for somebody that's just getting, selling all of their horses." And we knew then that, that was good because she's a really, really nice filly, and we weren't going to get beat by a reserve number. If somebody else got her, it was, somebody was going to beat us bidding. And
live money. It's called live money.
Yeah, that's going to be live money. She vets, her vet report's clean, her scope's clean. The more we followed her, the more we liked her. And so we decided to take a bid. She's the first foal out of a Medaglia d'Oro mare. And then that mare's produced one other winner, a 2-year-old winner by Honor Code. He's won over $84,000 already, and she's just a beautiful bay filly, very athletic. And what's not to love about Twirling Candy?
I know.
And Twirling Candy certainly had a successful run at Kentucky Downs this past meet. Had a lot of good runners out of by Twirling Candy. So, just super, super excited about it, and got her for $50,000. Yep. And we were shocked that it happened. But it's just, it's one of those things that happens when you've got 4,000 and some odd horses going through the sales ring.
Yeah.
And you just hope that one of them that you like happens to be one that falls through the cracks. And that's pretty much what happened with her, we think. There were just so many, and because there were, the horse in front of her we liked, the horse behind her we liked, and there were a bunch of nice little horses all right around her, but that's the one that we zeroed in. And I think other people kind of zeroed in on the ones in front and the ones behind, and it just so happened that she dropped in our lap, and just couldn't be more excited about it.
Well, and isn't that something that you and Jared, I'm tired. You and Mark once said, that like sometimes literally like you can't stand there. It's physically impossible to stand there the entire day. So it's like people leave and go get coffee and go get food. And like Keeneland's big. Like for people who've never been,
Right.
Keeneland is big. Like you leave for a second and you will miss 10 hips. And it's like people don't realize the stuff goes fast. Like so
That's exactly right. I mean, and there's just no possible way to see every single horse in the sale, even if you are just watching from the back. You're going to see a lot of horses go
mhm.
through, but this was we were on. I can't remember. There's the Yalpon Colt. He
Yep.
was behind her,
Yep.
and Mark really liked him as well. But he was so fixed on this filly. He just loved this one so much that he just couldn't spend enough time on that one to get a look at him. And he only went through for like 42,000, and we probably would have been interested, but we just didn't get to
Yep.
take the time to give him the same amount of attention that we gave this filly, and so we just had to let him go. And that just happens a lot.
Yep.
If you get a run of nice horses that go through there back to back to back to back, you can't give every single one of them the attention that you deserve. And this is the one that definitely we knew we were going to focus on, because
Yep.
she was checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
So there'll be some. I'm super excited about her. Can't wait to you guys see her, and I think
Yep.
she's going to be. She's got me very excited. I love
I
Twirling
know.
Candy.
I do too. I'm a huge fan of his. I have a list of stallions where kind of if it's there, it's in the sale. I'll probably go look at it. And Twirling Candies are one of those where he throws good horses all the time. Like it may be, if it's not it doesn't necessarily have to be a world beater, but it's gonna beat other horses. These are tough runners. He just throws runners. That's what Twirling Candies do.
Oh yeah, they run on everything. They run on all weather.
Yep.
They run dirt. They run turf. They're just they're he's been a very incredible sire for the
Yep.
first through his first 10 crops at least. So yeah,
Yeah. I like him.
always excited to look at the Twirling Candies.
Yep. And do we want to talk about the big chestnut with a big white face in the room?
Absolutely. It was funny that we've had our eye on him even before Irish Aces won the Tappet Stakes, and certainly since then. And I don't know if you saw it, Patty, the other day in the Blood Horse, they had an article about all of the offspring of winners from Kentucky this past Kentucky Downs meet,
Yeah.
and about 5 paragraphs were on this colt. And I sent a text to Mark. I said, "Well, we're screwed now, man. If we thought there was any chance he was going to slip under the radar, uh, it's not going to happen, because it's right there it was on the front page of the Blood Horse. So
Yeah.
it's a Mark. Mark went and looked at him, and what he told me, he said he looks just like his older brother. He might be a little bit bigger than Irish Aces was, at this particular point,
He's
but
very downhill, so he's definitely going to grow.
yeah, definitely going to grow. But he's just got that same look about him physically. He said, now what I notice is that he looks like he's a little bit tired, and they said he's been out 200 times. People
Oh
have been,
my god.
so they've worn this poor baby out over the last 3 or 4
Oh.
days, and he's done with it. He's like, he spit the bit. I've had enough. I just
hmm
I don't want to do this anymore. And
So
you
he's
kind
gonna
of
go
see
to
that a little
Margot
bit.
and he's gonna take a nap for the next 3 days. Like
That's exactly
they're
right.
not gonna see him for 3 days. He's just gonna be out.
He's ready to take a rest. And he said, and we're kind of hoped that might work to our advantage, because, and we'd already talked. We thought it was going to take $80, $90, $100,000, and
Yeah.
we were going to go
Because he has that recency, and recency is king.
right, and we were going to go to that. We were going to go up to that, $100,000 or so,
Yeah.
if we needed to. And he just got up there. He was shiny. He was alert, but you could just see, the sale has taken a toll on him, because
Yeah.
because of the update, he's been very, very popular. And I don't think he was showing as well as maybe he would have had he not been so active. And so a lot of the people that might have been seeing him for the first time today might
Yeah.
not have been as impressed with him as they otherwise would have.
Yeah.
So they told us right before the right before he went through the ring, what the reserve was going to be. We were a little surprised that it was going to be where it was, but I think they saw the same thing that we did. He'd been very, very popular, but it had just taken its toll on him and kind of worn him out, and it just worked to our advantage. And we were the last. And again, there's more live money, and it just happened to be us. And we were going to keep going, but glad we didn't have to.
Yeah. Well, and
Brendan is already in for a leg.
I was going to say, that was my next question. Where's Brendan in this conversation?
Mark sent him a text. He said, I'm in. And, that was before we even got off the sales grounds.
Oh, nice.
So Brendan's in for a leg, and we'll have some other, we'll have the rest of him up. My phone has not stopped already since people saw that we got him. A lot of the current partners are already texting me about him, but he'll be available here in the next couple of days. Our track photographer, our sales photographer, Tibor, went by the barn afterwards to get pictures, but I guess they were up at the sales pavilion or up getting lunch. They didn't have anything else selling this afternoon. So they had cleared out for a little bit. So he's going to keep checking in with them, trying to get back and get pictures. If not, Patty's going to go out on Monday and take care of those for us. So, but there's a really nice picture of him up on the Keeneland catalog page. And I think you'll probably put that in there. And we got some video of him walking around the sales ring.
That big white belly spot gets me. I like
big
horses.
Big white belly spot he's really, it's
that'll
nice
be the selling point. If not for the fact that he's a half to Irish Aces, it's the big white belly spot. That's what we're going to market for him.
And I think another piece of what played into the pricing is what Mark and I've talked about numerous times on the podcast. There's a lot of European turf in the bottom side of the pedigree.
Yep.
And that's not what the pinhookers want. This is not going to be. He's not going to go 10-1 next February or March. He's not going to do that. And so I think that played to our advantage as well. There's still value in turf horses, especially turf route horses. Mm-hmm. It's just it's a soft spot in the market that tends to benefit us. So it really helped us out here, and we love to run on the grass, so it works great for us.
Well, another thing I'd like to add too, really quickly, is Tiz the Law himself, I think, is surprising a lot of people, because I wrote something, I don't quite remember 100% off the top of my head, so hopefully Kumar doesn't come chop my head off for this. But like out of his, like at the time when I was writing it, he had like 10 winners or something, right? Like 2 of them were on the dirt. Everything else.
I knew he was the leading sire, but I did not realize that. I knew he was turfy, but I didn't know that he was.
It's that leading that far. Yeah. Like it's like 2 or 3 were main track. Everything else was turf and synthetic at Woodbine going. I don't think it's like going long per se yet, like long for the age group, but I'm like, I kind of looked him up right now on the TDN sire list. Folks, if you want to look at that, you can generate that on yourself. I'm on the North America and the First Crop Sires. You can select the list later. If you want to check it out, you want to make, double check me, make sure I'm reading these things correctly. But in terms of wins right now, he's sitting 4th. I mean, he's got 30 starters, 10 winners. He's hitting at 33%. The average winning distance is just short of 7 furlongs, so about 6.5. And he had Tiz-tastic, who was at the at Kentucky Downs. So it's like he's getting these turf horses. So, and I think that's what made me very excited about him when I saw that he is by Tiz the Law, because I knew how well Tiz the Law was doing on the turf, and I'm like, I'm jazzed, because Tiz the Law is a son of Constitution, and Constitution can, surprisingly enough, Constitution is another one of those. I wouldn't call him so much a utility sire, because I don't think a lot of his offspring are given the chance because of how prolific he is on the main track. But I think sons of Constitution and Constitution himself probably could get a really good turf horse if they got that kind of mare sent to them.
Yep.
So
yeah, and he's out of a Tisnow mare, which is that's a little unusual for turf. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen very often. But it's just, I think it's a really interesting breeding.
Yeah,
Tiz the Law, he is the leading first crop sire right now, and but he's got about 1.4 million in earnings already, 2 stakes winners. So it's just it's an exciting cross, and I think like I said, he looks just like his older brother.
Yeah,
and hopefully he can perform that well as well.
Well, and to kind of put a punctuation on that for like weird having Tisnows, horses out of Tisnow mares going long on the grass. I imagine the Galileo people feel the same when they see a dirt horse going long out of a Galileo
Right.
mare.
That's right.
So I imagine the Galileo people are like, "Oh, right, this is not where we thought we'd be." So definitely, folks, I'm gonna stitch those videos together. We're gonna get those posted along with this sales recap. We're gonna get all of that posted onto our YouTube. We're gonna start posting them on the socials once I get everything kind of stitched together and finished and all that fun stuff. But we just wanted to give you guys a day one sales recap. Like it was, and I think I was texting you, Jared, at one point. I was like, we're going to be done with shopping on the first day.
Yeah, we did. We tried to, we looked at a couple others, and we were prepared to bid on a couple others that went for way, way more than what, what we could spend. So
I think that Nyquist filly hit like the high hundreds or something like that?
Yeah, it was definitely over 150. So I think maybe like 180, 185, something like that. And we followed her up through the ring and just really were excited about looking at her, but saw a lot of other people. So that was one that didn't slip through.
Yeah, that's one that. Well, and it's like sometimes it is hard because like when they look that good and they show that well, you can only hope people are drinking so much coffee.
That's right.
There's not much you could say.
I will say the bars were not nearly as active today. It didn't look like the bars around the rings weren't nearly as active as they were the other day. So I think maybe I think a long week of celebrating has caught up with people finally. So it was a little quieter atmosphere at the sale today.
Well, they haven't left town yet because I had to drive through Lexington downtown. They're all eating right now, apparently, so they're not out of town.
It was still plenty busy. They just the party wasn't going on quite like it was the other day.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think we're going to have a $5 million yearling at this point. They're not that drunk. So are you guys planning on going back out, tomorrow? Do we have a timeline set or anything? How does that look?
We will be back out there first thing Monday morning and going at it. See if we can add a couple more.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. So, make sure that you keep your eyes open. We do have, again, we are sending out these sales updates. We're getting them out. So if you're not getting these emails, send us a text. Let us know. Partners, if you're not getting these, just let us know if you've asked us to put you on there. I updated this morning. I did add a couple more people on. So make sure you tell us if you're not getting these because we have sent, I think, a couple out already. So, but other than that, we're so excited to introduce these guys to you guys once the availability emails start going out, and I'm going to get active on social media, and then also they're going to be at our open house. So if you haven't, RSVP'd for that, you really want to, take a look at them, make sure you RSVP. We're working on locations. We have promised a couple times that we're working on locations, but once we have an idea of what our roster looks like, I think, Jared, you said that at that point we'll be able to figure out where all the locations are going to be.
Yeah, we hope to have that all finalized this week. So
okay,
but certainly go ahead and it's going to be October 5th. Start at 9 a.m. somewhere. Silver Springs, Margot, Dermot's. I'm not sure where. So we're going to start somewhere, and then we'll go from there. But definitely feel free to go ahead and shoot us a text or email to RSVP.
All right. There you go, folks. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're following all of our social medias. We're under Pocket Aces Racing. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also on Threads. I've seen quite a few of you on Threads already, so you guys have found us. Make sure that you are following us on the YouTube. It is Pocket Aces Racing. Hit the bell so you get these notifications when the races go, or races, recaps, sales recaps, features, whatever, go live. All the above. When everything starts going live, and have a good week. I'm sure we'll be back for, sales recap day 2 at any day now. So we'll see you guys then.